Hi, my name is Adriana Gonzalez, and I will be demonstrating the lab from Packet Tracer 2.3.7, Navigating the iOS. So in this Packet Tracer, there's three parts. The first part is to establish basic connections, access to the CLI, and explore help. Part 2 is to explore the exec mode, and part 3 is to set the clock start. So to begin, we're going to connect PC1 to S1 using the console cable. So if we go to connections here, we can click on the blue cable. You can see that it has a mouse pointer at the end showing that you can connect from PC1. So we're going to connect RS232 to S1, where we'll look for console at the top, and we are connected. So moving on to step 2, to establish a terminal session with S1, we're going to click PC1 and then go to the desktop. We're on desktop. We're going to hit terminal and make sure that all the port configuration default settings are correct. So everything looks correct. We notice that there are 9,600 bits per second. And when we hit OK, it'll take us to the screen that prompts S1 once we hit enter. So now to explore the iOS for help. So you can explore various commands through here, starting with, if we put question mark, it shows you all your exec commands here, like connect, disable, disconnect, and so forth. If you try T and question mark, you get all the commands that begin with T. If you try something like TE question mark, you would get, my bad, TE question mark, you would get the two that starts with TE commands, which is telnet and terminal. So like above here you got tracer route, but because that's not TE, you wouldn't get it again. So moving on to exploring the exec modes, in step 1, entering privilege exec mode, we will put in a question mark showing that enable, here we go, turned on privileged commands. So we are now in enable mode and press enter. You now see S1 hashtag, which will lead us to putting in a question mark showing us more commands. So to enter global configuration mode, we need to find S1 and put configure. It is now asking configuring from terminal memory or network terminal. So to enter the mode, we will hit enter, and that'll default to terminal. Now we have S1 config hashtag, and here we will exit by typing exit, exiting out of that mode. For the final part 3, setting the clock, we're going to use the clock command to further explore help and command syntax. So now that we are in enabled, we're going to enter show clock, which will bring you to the current time, which is Sunday, February 28, 1993. You'll notice that if you simply enter just clock and hit enter, it's an incomplete command. So there's a need for more parameters. So you're always going to have to put show before just clock, so it'll show you the clock. So to follow the next steps in setting the clock, we are going to type in clock set question mark to manually do it ourselves. This will enable you to set time we will type clock set is already preset, so we're just adding 15:00 to set it to 3 p.m. Space question mark. And if you don't put the question mark, it'll make sure that it is incorrect. So you need to make sure to put the question mark at the end with a space in between. So now that the time is set, it'll prompt you for a day of the month and a month of the year. To do that, we're going to add at the end 31st Jan 2035 as the instructions detail. And after you press enter, the clock should now be set. So to check your work and revert back, we're going to use the show clock command that we used at the beginning and enter it to make sure that we did it correctly, which we did. Here's ours, and here's this one. So in the last step, we're going to explore additional commands that could be wrong or right in doing this clock command. So CL enter, you could see that's ambiguous. Just putting in clock also is an incomplete command. Clock set at 25. This would be a time outside the parameters, also invalid because of the time. And it shows you here where it's invalid. And lastly, 15. Let's do clock set 15. Right. Space 32. Also invalid at the 32 marker because we can now exit out of this, and we in this lab and demonstration included establishing basic connections, accessing the CLI, and exploring help. We explored the different exec modes, and we were able to set the clock and check to make sure that we did that correctly. Thank you.